What's going on, guys? Get123 here with more Grand Theft Auto 5, and as you guys know, the I Am Not a Hipster update has recently leaked for Grand Theft Auto Online, and if you remember, if you saw my video on that, I talked about 7 new cars that were coming out. However, in that video, I only touched on those very briefly, and we didn't really have many details on those at the time, but since then, we've learned a little bit more, and, there's been some more speculation and rumors and everything. So what I want to dedicate this video to is specifically the 7 cars that will be releasing with the I'm Not a Hipster update. Now, despite all that we do know about the cars that are going to be in the update, there are still 2 that we don't know about. 5 of the 7 have leaked, so the other 2 are kind of up in the air for speculation and things like that, so we're going to discuss those as well. But why don't we start with the 5 that we do know will be in the game. So the first ones that we're going to be taking a look at here are going to be a few throwback vehicles, and the first one is the Blade. Now, as you can see on screen right now, this is how it looked in GTA San Andreas, and it's clearly an older style car. You know, this isn't something that you'd be seeing released in 2014. This is clearly modeled after something a little bit older, and I should mention that there's also a hardtop version of this car, but what you're looking at is the convertible model. So I'm definitely excited to see customization options on this one. I really hope that Rockstar in the future is going to add something like hydraulics. You know, I'm really disappointed that at this point they still haven't added hydraulics to GTA 5. They were a lot of fun in the past, and, you know, that's still something that we hope to see added, but, some paint job options, things like that, this could be a pretty neat car. Moving on to the next one, this is another throwback car. This is the Glendale. Now, this is a cool looking car. This is really a vintage looking thing, and you can really picture a hipster driving this, so in my opinion, it definitely fits the hipster theme, and one of my favorite things about it is the fact that it doesn't quite look like anything else in GTA 5. You know, this is going to be a really unique vehicle on the streets, and the Blade that we just looked at kind of looks a bit more generic, but in my opinion, this car's got a lot of personality, a lot of class, and I think this is going to be a car that you're really going to be able to make look good. You know, from the paint jobs to the tire and rim additions and things like that, I really think that this is going to look like a really classic, good car, and I think it'll probably be a pretty popular choice. So moving on to the third and final throwback car, and then we've still got a few more cars after this, but the final throwback car is, as you can see here, the Rhapsody. So as you can probably tell by the slightly better graphics than the other cars I showed you, this picture is from Grand Theft Auto 4, The Lost and the Damned. So as you can see by looking at this car, it's a really small compact car. I mean, I can't even tell if it has back seats. I think I do see a back seat going across the back there, but clearly it's a 2-door car and it barely has any trunk space at all. I mean, with those back seats back there, you're lucky if you can even fit anything, but that's not the point. It's a good hipster car, and it doesn't need to be functional as long as it looks good, right? Well, I actually don't even know if this thing does look good, but once again, it's definitely a good, unique car to be added, and it's definitely something I think that a hipster would drive, so, I can't really complain too much. I think it's a good addition, and I think it'll fit in well, so I'm definitely curious to see what Rockstar does with it. I can't really imagine that you're going to be able to pimp this thing out too much or do too many upgrades. I imagine it's kind of going to be a bit of a boring car, but hey, maybe I'll be wrong. So that's actually it for the throwback vehicles. Now we get into the brand new vehicles never before seen in a Grand Theft Auto game, and in my opinion, this is where it gets really juicy. The first one that we're going to start it off with is the Panto Microcar. Now, just based off the name, Microcar, you know that it's got to be a small car, and it's probably going to be a smart car. So what you're looking at on screen right now is a smart car, and in my opinion, this thing actually looks kind of neat. I mean, I know a lot of people hate smart cars, they love to make fun of them, they love to bash them, but really, I think this thing looks pretty cool for being a smart car. So I don't know about you guys, but if this is anything that it looks like in GTA 5, I'm going to be satisfied. I think the smart car is an awesome addition, especially for the whole hipster theme. I think it's definitely going to be great, and like I said, if it looks anything like this, I think it might be a pretty popular choice and something you might see driving around a lot. I mean, obviously, okay, I know it's not going to be fast, so if you need a fast car, that's not going to be your car of choice, but for the days that you're just cruising around and you want something a little bit more unique, that might be a pretty cool choice. I'm definitely curious to see the customization options that go along with it too, so really, I'm really excited for that car. So the fifth and final car that we know about for sure, and I say that we know about for sure because, like I said, there are a total of 7 cars, 2 of which we're not sure about yet, but the 5th one that we do know is this vehicle right here. This thing is awesome. This is the 6-axle Dubsta, modeled after the Mercedes-Benz G35, I believe, and as you can see from this picture here, this thing looks pretty awesome. To anybody who likes to go off-roading in GTA 5, you're gonna need to have this car. I mean, for me, this is a must-have. I think this thing looks fantastic, and it is absolutely unique. So would a hipster drive this? I guess maybe a rich hipster would, but I don't know how many hipsters there are that can afford a car that expensive, because I don't even know how much the 6x6 version costs. All I know is that the 4x4 version starts at $115,000 in real life, so once you make the 6x6 version, obviously that's only going to make it even more expensive, and it's also worth noting that, you know, this is a Mercedes, but it is one of its AMG vehicles, meaning that for the most part, the entire car is hand-built. It's handcrafted from the engine to the interior. You know, the interior is hand-stitched, the engine is put together by hand, it's not made on an assembly line. And then the guy who actually constructed your engine, who put it together, signs a card that goes in your windshield so you know the exact person who's responsible for building the engine in your vehicle. So, in my opinion, that's really awesome, and it's cool to see Rockstar bringing something like that to Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, obviously, all those subtle little facts that I just talked about won't have any importance in GTA 5. You know, in Grand Theft Auto, you're not going to have some guy hand-building your engine, but I thought that was a fun little fact to throw in on the side. So, that's it for the 5 vehicles that we know about in the Hipster update. There are obviously, like I said, 2 more that we don't know about, and if I had to give you my guess, I feel like we might get another sports car, maybe a supercar, but I think Rockstar is starting to realize that the supercars are kind of oversaturated in GTA 5. At this point, we have a lot of supercars, a lot of sports cars, and really not enough of anything else that people would want to drive. So it's clear that with this update, they're trying to diversify their vehicles a little bit, which I think is great. So, you know, I'm not going to talk about these 2 final cars too much, purely because, you know, it's all speculation. So, I don't know. If I had to guess, like I said, I would guess a sports car and maybe one other random thing that I really have no clue of. So, with that, guys, tell me what you think in the comments below. 7 new cars for a DLC, that is awesome, but what do you think of the cars specifically? Do you think that Rockstar did a good job? Are these anything that you're going to want to drive? Personally, I think it's a great array of vehicles. You've got off-road, you've got smart cars, you've got throwbacks, you've got everything. Maybe even a sports car. We'll find that out at the end, but, you know, I want to know what you guys think, so tell me what you think in the comments below, and show that like button some love if you enjoyed the video. And with that, please stay tuned for more videos in the future. I will see you next time.